All right, let us welcome back to the program Casey Kenney, who joins us a few days away from his return to action. He's going to face Song Yadong to kick off the main card this Saturday at UFC 265 in Houston, Texas. Casey, good to see you, man. How are you?
Good to see you as well. I'm doing great. It's fight week. It's one of the best weeks of camp, and just getting things ready and head out in the morning.
There you go. Hopping on a plane tomorrow, heading out to the Lone Star State. How excited are you to get out to Houston, get back in that octagon, and be prepared to fight in front of fans again?
I'm excited, man. I've had a couple experiences with the fans as a fan myself, here in the last few months, and made me even more excited to be a part of, a roaring crowd, and finally on the main card now. So I feel like last time we had fans, I was kicking off like the early prelims. So didn't really have many fans in house then anyway, so it's gonna be exciting to have a whole crowd full of people.
Were you at 263?
I was.
What was that like, man?
That was my first oh shit, I forgot how awesome it is to have a whole arena full of people. I think it's been the last 4 fights I fought with no crowd, and it's cool. It's got its own perks and own little thing, but we're gladiators, man. We like to have a whole arena full of people.
Just to see, I mean, there's lots of special moments that happen in the sport, and I think oftentimes the crowd becomes a big part of that. But seeing Brandon Moreno win a world title like that, and seeing the reaction he got, how he took it all in, and just I mean, it's just such a cool moment to be there and be in that arena and see that live. Like, what was that like to see?
I was the one of the guys chanting, "Oh, Brandon Moreno." So I was right there, man. I got to witness the whole thing. I was jumping up and down for him. So it was amazing. It was a great experience. And then obviously, Nate Diaz walking out, getting to see that live and feel the energy of that, it's one of a kind.
Yeah, Adesanya, that was a cool walkout. I mean, it was a good night.
All of them, man, all of them.
It's been an interesting year for you because the last time we saw you compete, it was against Dominick Cruz, and you had a very entertaining fight with the guy that many feel is the greatest bantamweight of all time. And unfortunately, you were on the wrong end of a split decision, but I think you had a good account of yourself for sure. I think a lot of people agree with me on that. And just, even though you didn't get your hand raised, I know it sucks to lose, but were you able to take positives out of that fight with Dominick after sharing 15 minutes with him?
Yeah, always, man. No matter what happens in there, always some positive stuff that you can take from it. Like you said, I lost the fight on the judges' scorecard, but there's a lot of good things that happened in there. Got to bust up, one of the greatest of all times, and got to share the octagon with him. So always improving, always trying to get better. Take the good things and kind of bounce back.
Did you agree with the decision? Did you go back and watch it?
I mean, I thought I got 2 rounds. Obviously, I'm a biased person, but, I thought round 3 was obviously him, the only round he got a takedown. Round 2, I busted him up pretty good, and I stuffed all his takedowns. So I felt like I had that one. So now you got round 1. And, besides slipping a couple times, he only hit me a couple times in that round, and I also stuffed all his takedowns. So, not to dwell on it too much, but yeah, I thought I got 2 rounds there.
Hearing you say that, I'm curious your thoughts on this. Is there such thing as a moral victory in MMA? Is there such thing as that? Taking a former divisional king to the limit, you feel like you came out of that with a win, that you won 2 rounds. Is there a moral victory here? Do you step into this fight in Houston feeling like you just beat Dominick Cruz? Is that confidence there?
When the judge's decision came, I wasn't super thrilled with my performance. I thought I could have done more. I could have done better. So whether I lost or won in that aspect, I fought my ass off, but I felt like I could have done better in the fight. I wanted to put Dominick Cruz away, and I felt like I could have done that, and just, didn't really get the chance to do it in the fight. So no matter what the judges' scorecard came, or what the judges decided on that fight, I knew I needed to get back to work and improve. But that's the game, and win or lose in that Dominick Cruz fight, I'm coming to take your head off in the next one.
There you go. It certainly didn't take much away in terms of how the UFC views you moving forward, because they're giving you this fight with Song Yadong, a perennial top 15 guy, and they're throwing you guys on this main card of a big pay-per-view. Like, what was your reaction to getting the matchup and then being on a pay-per-view yet again? I think this is your third in a row, is it not?
Yeah. This time I actually get to be on the pay-per-view portion, but if you ever watch me fight and you ever watch Song fight, what a better pay-per-view opener, as a fight fan. No words need to be said there.
Did you like the matchmaking? Like, at first I was like, oh, this is good. But then you kind of dig a little deeper. And I thought, like, I don't know if strange is the right word, but he just fought Kyler Phillips. And I know you've trained with Kyler 1,000 times at this point. And then they throw you in throw him in there with you. Were you surprised to see the matchup, or were you not surprised by it?
I called it right after the Dominick fight. I was like, I bet they're going to pair me with Song. One, we both took, close, I guess he won one round there, decision losses that night. And I had already been paired to fight Song back in December. The contracts were written and all that stuff. And it was kind of short notice, and he ended up backing out. Never fought in December. That's where the Dominick fight came about. But before the Dominick fight, my next fight was supposed to be Song. So I figured they were gonna, pair us back up and try it again. So here we are.
I know every fight's different. Every fighter approaches every fight differently. But did you take a lot from Kyler's performance that you could kind of implement for yourself on Saturday?
Yeah, for sure. I think in his last 3 fights, guys have been able to take him down, control him a little bit, and that's how they, won some rounds, won the fight on Song. And I think that's just, you look at my 2 losses in the UFC, those are the 2 fights that I was head hunting with my fists. I didn't mix it up like I wanted to. And, I think it's going to be, back to the drawing board. I think it's going to be another one where I went and adjusted some things, and, we're going to come out victorious.
Was your training camp similar to the normal ones, like kind of cross training at different gyms, doing some different things? Like, how did it all work out? Was it the same as normal?
Yeah, same as normal. The MMA Lab and Rise Combat Sports, bouncing back and forth between the two. And, when I prepare for a fight, I like to sharpen, everything I have. Obviously, I pay attention to a few things that my opponent does well, see how they move. But, you can throw me with anyone, on fight night. And I'm confident because, I prepared, everything that I have. And that's pretty much how I, approach every fight camp. Make sure I'm ready to go in every aspect of MMA and, see what happens.
I felt like Kyler beating Song Yadong, that was like a breakout performance for him. Like, it put him in the rankings. People got to see how good he was, and because they know how good Song is, and he got some buzz off of that. Do you feel like you could get that same rub, so to speak, that beating a guy like Song kind of tips the proverbial cup over in your favor, if you will?
Yeah, I mean, I just fought Dominick Cruz, and I put on a hell of a 2020. So, Song's fought a handful of guys, but I feel like we're pretty even there on like the type of competition that we fought. And I think I may even have a stronger schedule. Guy like Kyler, I train with him all the time. I know exactly how good he is, and he got to show that against Song, and even got to show a lot of great things in his last fight. But take some good things out of that. And like you said, every fight's different. Honestly, I envision this fight with the crowd, the bell ringing and pointing down to the center, putting my hands in the air and seeing, who steps back first. There
you go. What did you think of the judging of that fight for Kyler? Like, how do you not give him a 10-8 in that first? It's insane. It's absolutely insane.
Right. I thought if, the other guy won the last 2 rounds 10-9, then, Kyler definitely got a 10-8 in that first. But, he's kind of in the same mindset, sucks to lose, but we, put our heart out there and get back to the drawing board and get better.
Of course, I'm sure when you saw that this fight card is taking place in Houston, I'm sure it clicked right away. Bonus structure is getting a little bit of a boost. 75,000. The last time they were there, we saw it with 264, 75,000. I don't know if this is a regular thing for pay-per-views or just a Houston thing. I don't know, but you got to believe that 75 G's is a possibility for you, right? Do you feel like this is going to happen again?
Yeah, I mean, if no one says anything or I don't hear anything during the Dana meeting, I might have to raise my hand. And, grow some balls and ask the man himself. So we'll see what happens. But, I feel like this fight's kind of like the Nathaniel Wood fight. Even though you're on a big pay-per-view, like I went into that card confident that if Nathaniel Wood goes away, I'm going to get a bonus. If he doesn't, it's probably going to be fight of the night. And I see Song, in the same picture. If I put Song Yadong away, I'd probably get in a bonus. If I don't, and we go to the final bell, it's probably going to be a fight of the night type of fight. So I like my chances on getting those bonuses.
There you go. Well, I'm sure you would prefer a performance of the night bonus. So how do we get this thing done? It's going to be a full house, main card opener. Everyone's going to be there getting ready for it. How do you set the table for the rest of this card?
Man, any of the rounds, I'm going to put him away. I'm coming full force. And I think I'm going to catch him and maybe finish him with some ground and pound.
Later on in the evening, in the festivities, there's another big bantamweight fight, co-main event, Jose Aldo versus Pedro Munoz. Really good fight. Who do you like in that one? I assume you will be having your eye on that fight.
Yeah, definitely. After the Cruz fight, I wanted to call out Jose Aldo and kind of go on my legend tour. But man, I'm a huge fan of Aldo. A fan of Munoz as well, but I'd like to see the legend Aldo get another W there.
You got to pick for the main event, Derek Lewis versus Cyril Gane.
Man, I'm going to go Derek Lewis by KO because that's what he does.
That he does. And doing it in Houston, that's going to be a thunderous ruckus applause from the Toyota
I can't go against Derek Lewis on any picks until after the Houston card. I'm trying to get those Houston fans on my side.
Well said. But Casey, I appreciate the time as always, especially so close to a big fight like this. Safe travels to Houston. All the best to you in the showdown to kick off the main card in the deepest division in the UFC. It'll be on display and kicks off with this fight between yourself and Song Yadong. Thank you again, sir. All the best to you, and we'll see you on Saturday.
Thanks, Mike. Always a pleasure. Sure, I'll talk to you soon.